What do you?
TA was one of the reasons, like, working with you guys to create Improbable, man. Like, that's been a dream of mine. I'm like, oh, okay, because I've been don't get it twisted for 1 second. Like, I've been thinking for a very long time, who are people that I feel like I relate to, I connect with, that like there's alignment in principles that we stand for. Family, what I talk about, or like my kids, my mom, my dad, family, and like I'm a workaholic. Like, I want to be great, right? And I want to do right by people. So I'm like, oh, okay, like what would be like, and the fact that it's improbable, just, I mean, I almost died. I mean, I hear your story and where y'all came from, like, oh my God. Like, it's like, oh, I can accomplish anything. We can do it.
That's why the company is called Improbable too. Like it's all connected. But then, okay, so going back to you and your story, and I mean, obviously we've got into situation. We can talk like this for like hours and hours, but like back to your story, and I want like people who are listening, people who are from all around the world. You know, we have from Europeans, everybody listening, and Africa, everywhere. I want to know, like, okay, you go to high school. One of the best players in high school, right? How do you become a Blue Devil and quote unquote, like, how do you play for the school?
I got paid a lot of money. No.
Can I click that? Can I click that and post that? I want your permission.
It was NIL before NIL. It's fine.
Okay, click that. Yeah. Post that, please. Put that on. That's how you became a dude.
I mean, it was, you know, it's funny. I really want you guys to jump on Coach K's podcast. He's dying to talk to you and GA. Yeah. He's fans of both of you. I was down at Duke the other day. Like, he's changed my life, man. Like, you talk about, like, man, a principle, like, Coach K, he built different. You talk about storing it, like, keeping it, like, and then bringing it out of your back pocket, like, in a moment where you don't expect it. Like, yo, Jay, he said this about you 4 years ago. I'm like, oh, what? I'm gonna strap him up. I'm gonna lock him up. I'm like, how'd you know how to? So he was just going to Duke changed me. Okay. And I also felt, I don't know if you felt this way when you guys won a chip a couple of years ago. It was like, you've been on a lot of teams. You know, when I was at Duke, man, we were a family, dog. Like, we felt like that bond that you had with Drew, with Chris Holiday, with your squad. It's like when somebody fell, you'd be like, yeah, I got you. I got you. Like, you'd be like, oh, you know? And
we're almost like a college team, no joke. Like, we've been
exactly
together.
Like, what you say about Drew? Like, he could have been like, yo, Drew, like, you got a good game. But what you say about Drew? Like, you protect. Like, that's how college was for me. And when I got drafted to Chi, like, the average age of our team was 22 years old. So we had a lot of young dudes all trying to get their contracts.
Okay.
And it was like everybody was on different pages, man. Like, some dudes were into a lot of chicks. Some dudes were into just trying to get their money. Some dudes were into extracurricular activities.
You don't know what anybody's, what can be somebody's motivation. You don't really know. So you just play. People play for different things, just different things that get them out the bed to go like, today I got to do this,
Yeah. But you've been on bad teams before, right? Like, let me ask you a question. How would you compare your championship team to some of the bad teams you've been on?
I mean, not necessarily. Even with the Knicks, when I got drafted, I mean, I played a couple of games. It wasn't something crazy. I didn't have a crazy stint with the Knicks. But even though I got drafted and it was great, it was, great organization, we didn't win games. But it wasn't because we were just a bad team. It was just like, it was just different. It was just different. And we were, and again, we were in between I don't know if you remember this, though. We were in between, like, the triangle kind of and the other stuff. So, but and again.
I hate the triangle, but yes,
why?
Because I'm a PG, TA. I need the rock in my hands.
And this is not even an exaggeration. I promise you, it works.
That's fair. That's fair.
But it works for guys like me, though.
It's a great signal. I love the system.
It works for a system guy. For guys like me, it does work.
I feel you.
You get to your spot. You know what you do. You like in between. You waiting. If the ball goes there, I go this way. If the ball goes this way, I go that way. I flash and I'm working.
It took me the whole year to figure out where the hell to go wherever we pass. Wait. Like when the ball hits the pinch post, I'm like, I'm stuck. I just got stuck.
It's tough. So
I hear you.
So I kind of understood that situation. But in Europe, almost every team I've been on, even with like Panathinaikos we've been on, it's been a great camaraderie and a great level. But I think the bad teams or any bad team, it's not necessarily only has to do with winning and not or losing. It mostly has to do with like the camaraderie, the work ethic, the togetherness. And when I say the camaraderie, the togetherness is different. You know, the camaraderie could be like, hey, you know, pick each other up, whatever we lose.
Yeah.
But the togetherness is like, hey man, let's work out. Hey man, even though it's competitive, it's together. We do
What
this
year
together.
did you come in the league?
2014.
Okay. So
2014.
I came in the league in 2002, 2003. Let me tell you about that time back then. Ready?
Yeah.
Yo, cats had pistols in their bags. Cats were transporting marijuana on team planes. And I'm not just talking about like a little dime bag. I'm talking about like pounds of it.
Yes.
Pounds of it.
Yes.
Like it was a different time where it was weird, man. Like, and for me, like as somebody who just loved hoop, I'm like, hold on, there's so many other things going on top of hoop. It was hard to learn. And you know, it's still this way a little bit for some teams. Like we also had dudes like, yo, like I knew certain places we were going to, TA, we weren't winning. Like we went out to Miami, we weren't winning. We went to Minnesota, we weren't winning. We went to LA, we definitely weren't winning. We went to T-Dot, we definitely weren't winning. You know, like it was just
so you said LA, Miami,
T-Dot, Minnesota,
and
low-key.
Minnesota. Okay.
Minnesota.
You know, so from my understanding being here in the U.S., so from me trying to learn the culture and the American culture, I would think the Midwest. So isn't like Milwaukee and Minnesota kind of like not cousins, but they're kind of like the closest city?
Yeah, it's similar.
You know, is it? Is that a true statement? Is it a good statement to say? Somewhat, you know, kind of.
Yeah.
Because they're close. I mean, but is Minnesota? I don't know. Okay.
Things may have changed. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I'm a married man. But just different world though. You know, like back then. It was just and it was, you know what? It's fascinating you said European structure. It may be one of the reasons like I feel like we have like GA, Luka, Nikola Jokic, Wemby. Like I can go on and on with like the European players that are really like Joel Embiid, right? Like Cameroon, like and setting at that next level.
Yeah. European, like, African, just non-Americans. Yeah,
we don't get taught basketball here structurally the way you guys got taught overseas. I feel like there is way more of a presence on like, yo, here's how the game works. Here's maybe some of the best vehicles utilized to get this playoff, or how to do a rub cut, or the skill set of the game is different. Guys here, now it's all about skill development, but that wasn't the case a long time ago. Guys were just super athletic, and they were trying to combine that with the skill.
It's so crazy that you say that, because you can tell by like the different philosophies of like different countries when they play.
Yeah,
you know, I think, and this is my opinion. You know, everybody has a different opinion. So like growing up and playing like Division II and just growing up, we always thought. And then when we end up going, you know, either under 20 or under, you know, like national team and stuff like that, you could tell by teams like Serbians were first shot. Like before they even touch the basket, before they even go for layups, they work on their shooting.
Shot all day.
On their shooting. Catch the ball, shoot. Then you had the Spanish guys, like it was all about the run and gun. And we're going to come off the screen and we're going to run and gun you, and we're going to pass and we're going to, you know, play this. When it comes to Greeks, it was all pick and roll. Like before you even do anything, is pick it on, and pass it, pick it on. Look at the guy and pass it there. Look at the guy and pump fake and pass it to the other guy, to the guy coming off. Like everything was pick it on. Before you even, you know anything else, you know. But that's different philosophy. You can tell for how the national teams play, you know. But it's one of those things that all of these countries have developed all these guys, because all these guys from young age, we only play one game. We only play one game. Did you know that like at our age of like 16 or 17, we was playing in Division 2 or 3. For you to go up to the next division, you literally got to be undefeated. Like, you know, like college, you cannot lose a game. So you got to go like 28-0, and then you move to the next division.
League, yeah.
To the next division.